wanted to carry forward some of the elements that I had shown in the previous 8 stations of the cross, um, between making him recognizable, like it's the same portrait of Christ that I depicted earlier, um, and a few subtle things that uh, um, that kind of nod to some of the previous pieces. Just like the other 8 stations, this was all done with primary colors, um, with colored pencil. Um, and this is the first time that I've actually thrown in a metallic gold, um, and blended it in with the primary colors. So just in the halo here, it kind of gives it that um, kind of a different metallic sheen that I haven't really put in a piece before. And with this piece, I tried to go even a little bit like comic book hero, um, where it's epic, it's grand, and it's inspiring and invigorating. And um, so I tried to capture, along with the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit, where he's lifting these chains and they're almost becoming weightless, and his clothes are becoming weightless as he's ascending. The triangle shape here, that's representative of the Trinity and also upward movement, and where it crosses over his wrists and his eyes. That um, to me, that's uh, that's representative of the lens, if you will, of the way you see the world through his sacrifice and through his blood. I have a kind of a nod to the Station 8 with the cosmic halo. Um, so that's representative of um, God's vast and intimate love for Christ, his Son. Now, around the cosmic scene, um, I have 2 golden rings and 1 red ring. So those 2 rings represent a marriage between man and God, basically. And that red ring representing the blood that bonds the two, the blood of Christ. And while we're talking about it, I'm not sure if you can see, but in this halo, you may be able to tell along some of these lines, there's imperfections and dents and scratches and things like that. And the silver part, that kind of cross shape, um, it has some kind of tarnished, unpolished look to it. Um, and so it's kind of a similar idea to the previous 8 stations where, he is royalty, and yet he um, went through the ringer. Down at the bottom, you can see these chains are being pulled out of the darkness and they're broken. The chains here are really representative of whatever is holding them in darkness. And I think especially during a time like we're in right now with the COVID-19 crisis, I think that there are a lot of things that those chains could be connected to for people. In that darkness is exactly what he is dying and resurrecting for and pulling upward. And I'm hoping, as sad as I was that I wouldn't be able to do an in-person art show like I did last year, and talk to people in person about it, at least yet, um, I I feel really kind of humbled and grateful that I'm able to unveil this during a time when some people may need it more. A lot of us are feeling really trapped, and things are uncertain and dark, and um, between being scared for our lives, our loved ones, losing loved ones, and um, I hope that this piece is symbolic in this time of the fact that even though we're in the middle of it, it's already been overthrown.
Wow.
this piece has been kind of a reminder to me of that, because the closer I got to finishing it, um, the more the virus was spreading to the U.S. and things. I almost felt like the walls were kind of closing in,
Mm.
became more and more real and imminent, and felt more inescapable, um, and the anxiety and kind of the darkness and just that perpetual unsettled feeling that myself and I'm sure just about everybody is feeling. Um, as I was creating this, it was like he's almost reminding me that he's already been walking through the darkness with me
Mhm.
even before this crisis. Um, and he made that abundantly clear when I was doing the previous 8 stations, um, during another very scary time of my life. Um, and so to me, this is like it. It's really humbling to see a symbol of his conquering, his strength during a time when I feel so uncertain and weak and have no idea what to expect. This was a lot of work, but it's nothing compared to who he is and what he can create.
Mhm.
If this piece can have that kind of impact on you, imagine what Christ himself can have.
Mm.
You know, the time that we're in right now, this is exactly the kind of thing that he died for.